as individuals can, by borrowing, live beyond our means, but for only a limited period of time. Why then should we think that collectively as a nation we're not bound by that same limitation?
Truer words have never, ever been spoken.
Hair on the back of my neck stood up.
That guy's such a G. Awesome. I don't know what else. I said that with all due respect to the late Ronald Reagan. But seriously, folks, he is absolutely right. And it was groundbreakingly true when he was the president. It is even more true now. So despite a shockingly good, it was a staggeringly good jobs report for January. More than 500,000 jobs were added. Biden took a victory lap, of course, because of politics and stuff. But credit card debt at the same time is rising substantially, okay? Rising 18.5%, while the federal interest rates go up another 25 basis points. It's just like these are sending bizarre signals, not only to our markets, but global partners as well. They have no idea what's going on. People don't know. This is going to affect the housing market, and it's going to trickle on down. Joining us now to break it all down, data analyst, research fellow at the Heritage Foundation, economist E.J. Antoni. All right, E.J., what in the world is going on here?
Gentlemen, well, thank you for having me. And it's a great question because a lot of people were left scratching their heads after Friday's jobs report came out, because you have this one indicator which continues to point to robust growth. But the problem is that almost every single other indicator within the economy is pointing the other way, not the least of which are some of the factors that you just mentioned. Savings are down, credit card debt is going up, and it's not because consumers are purchasing luxury items. It's not yachts and caviar that are driving those credit card balances. It's grocery items, and that's particularly scary when you realize that the number of Americans who can't pay off those credit card bills every month continues to rise as interest rates rise as well, meaning the financing charges that they pay on those credit cards is going to be going up too.
You know, EJ, I think the total credit card now, the debt is reaching $930 billion with a B, $930 billion in the fourth quarter of 2022. At this rate, in your opinion, can Americans keep hanging on at this rate where we are right now? How long can they hold on?
Well, it's a great question. A lot of that is going to depend on wages and prices, because those are the two key factors here. And that's that future is very uncertain. As we look forward, a lot of that has to do with the fact that we really have no idea what the Federal Reserve is going to do. Don't forget that Powell is the one who said that a 75 basis point hike was off the table, but then proceeded to deliver 3 in a row. So this Fed has proven to be nothing if not unpredictable, and it makes it very hard, therefore, to divine which way things are going to go in the future. What we do know is that this trajectory is unsustainable, in the same way that the federal debt limit, for example, the whole fight around that between Democrats and Republicans right now within Congress and the White House. We're seeing that same type of tension in the consumer's budget, where you are spending too much relative to the amount of money you're taking in, and the debt is piling up. That, again, is unsustainable.
Well, EJ, let's talk about that ballooning debt. Obviously, the system is designed to take on debt because debt is growth. Because, you know, if I'm a bank, I have $1 million in the bank, I can loan out $10 million. So, or this is oversimplification, but what is the breaking point here? I mean, if people are taking more and more and more, the government's taking more and more and more, and also values are starting to decline because of inflation, when does the bubble pop?
It's another great question. And I think Republicans here, in my opinion, have lost some credibility over the years, because they have been, quite frankly, hyperbolic when they talk about the debt ceiling in many cases, because we don't know where that breaking point actually is. We don't know when that bubble will pop for the United States today. And the reason I say that is because that point of no return has proven to be different for every country that has crossed that threshold. It has been different for different countries at different periods of time. What we do know, though, is that the path we are on is unsustainable. So it is not as if the entire system is just going to implode tomorrow or next year. It possibly could, but that's very, very unlikely. The much more likely event is that it's going to take us many more years going down this wrong path in order to cause that kind of catastrophic collapse. But the problem is that it takes a very long time to turn this big battleship around. And that's why it's so imperative that we start moving today before we get so close to the falls that our momentum is just going to take us over.
E.J., thank you very much. I think what's happening, in my opinion, is that the American people are taking their cue from the federal government. They're spending money they don't have and they're just borrowing it. So maybe if our federal government reined themselves in, everyday average families would as well. But we'll see.
Yeah. All right, E.J., I appreciate you joining us on this complicated topic.